Hey guys, doing a review on Fender HM Strat. I got this a little while ago. I've been meaning to do a review here for a while. I just didn't see a lot of other good reviews on this one either, and it's such a cool guitar. It was only made for a couple years by Fender, so I thought I needed to do the guitar justice since I was able to find one and put a review up there. You can see I got an 89. It's got that great kind of spray painted logo. This one has rosewood, some have maple, which is really cool. You got two American standard single coils. You got the humbucker in the back, and if you notice the switch there, the little silver switch by the tone knobs, that cuts the humbucker to either single coil or humbucking mode. So I just played you there kind of a nice thick saturated sound. I was running on the humbucker. If I go ahead and switch it to single coil, I'm using bias. It's a modeling software, so it might not be as apparent until I go to a clean tone, but I'll just show you. So here's kind of it's on the humbucker right now. Single coil, fuzzy. Humbucker. Single coil. Humbucker. So one of the things I really liked about this guitar, and kind of why I was really excited when I found out about its existence, I was watching a YouTube video and saw a guy shredding on it, and I was like, what is that Fender guitar? And a friend told me that the HM Strat, the heavy metal Strat, was what Fender tried to do in the late 80s, early 90s for like 3 or 4 years to compete with all the shredders. And I couldn't believe it. I was so excited because I always wanted a good shred Strat, but I wanted the single coils. And the idea of having kind of that single coil in the back or flipping it to the humbucker is just fantastic. The neck matters a lot to how every guitar plays. This is wide, so as you go from kind of maybe 1.65 or below at the nut to 1.7, this is 1.7. So it's a thinner neck. It's not, I have my ESP here. It's wider than the ESP, and I mean, I'll just even show you here. Here's an M2. You're not going to know exactly. It's impossible to see. Wider, but a little bit thicker in the back. So hopefully that just kind of gives you a little feel. And then again, like I said, you can look at the measurements. 1.7 on the HM. It's held back, so you can't see it with the scale there. But the HM is a wider 1.7, and I think the ESP, I can't remember if you look online, it has the scale for what it is, maybe 1.675 or something like that. I'm gonna go ahead and throw on kind of more of a plexi tone here, just to show you kind of how that sounds as well. The back pickup, I think they went between a Dimarzio Super Distortion and a Super D or a Super D3 or something like that. I think this is the Super D, not the Super Distortion or the D3. It was unclear. There's not a lot of data out there on the HM Strat, so I haven't taken the pickups out to try and kind of figure it out. But anyways, here's kind of a plexi sound. Probably love to hear the single coils on a more clean channel, so I'm going to go ahead and do that too. Here's kind of just a bluesy setup. And this is kind of fun, right? I'll play some SRV on like a shred guitar. It's got the late '80s American standard single coil, so it should sound decent. Let me mention this too. This is a little different. Normally you turn your tone knobs all the way up. Here it's a different, like treble bleed or bass bleed or something. So let me give you an example of what that is. I have it at neutral right now. So 5 is kind of neutral. It kind of notches into neutral. So if I play a G, if I took it all the way up to 10, it gets really bright. If I took it all the way off, like a traditional tone knob. So anyways, I'll keep it in the middle here. Here's a little SRV on HM Strat. With the, I'm going to hit over here now to the combo of the neck in the middle. Middle pickup. I'll put this back to the single coil in the back, so you got the kind of the quacky duck pickup. And then the neck pickup. Point to kind of compare the neck to the humbucker again. So here you go. Here's kind of just the neck pickup with single coil sound. If I flip it back to humbucker. Neck, or single coil. Humbucker. Soloing on the neck, so just something simple like so that was the humbucker and single coil. So a lot more clarity. You got the buzz of kind of that single coil sound as well. But it's cool. It's nice to have both, especially since it's a kind of a so to speak Strat guitar. So that's get a little less hot. Let's see if I can get a better clean that's a little less hot. You know, I don't have any good ones on this. Here's kind of a jazzy tone. This guitar actually, the neck single coil is not as good as a humbucker for the kind of jazzy one. So. want to show you obviously some metal tones. So if you get this guitar, you very well might be using it for just pure shred, and this guitar does that pretty well. So here we go. Just to a little metal riff I what's metal without a little Pantera? So yeah, there you go. There's a little bit of metal sound. Sorry, the light's coming on. I see that's reflecting on the guitar now. I'll try and turn it. But anyways, just a good, versatile guitar. If you can find one used, absolutely pick it up. I had to put new jumbo frets on mine. The frets were totally worn out. And I mean, so I got the guitar. It was really beat up. So I bought it for $450, but it's been $400 on the frets. $100 for kind of a setup, a new post for the bridge. This has the Kaler Spider bridge. I think it works great, but it was super old and the post had like cracked or something like that. So Whammy World, that site has those parts. So I was able to use that. Let's see here. Anything else? No, I think that gives you hopefully a pretty good overview of the tones. I'll go back to the humbucker and just kick it off with one more fun song. I'll do one more on the neck, just to give you a sense of how soloing on the neck sounds on a heavier channel. So that was kind of nice. Nice and kind of liquidy. When I go to the neck, it doesn't sustain quite as much. I actually like to turn that treble bleed up when I'm on the neck. So kind of fun. It's kind of got that nice Ingve type sound. Last fret works. All right. Hope you enjoyed it.